Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Too Hot for Love.
We are a recap and react podcast to whatever dating show is out there right now.
And currently, that is the second season of MILF
MILF
Manor.
Manor.
And we are on episode 10 today. Even if you're not watching along, you can hang out and you can listen to us just gossip about it a little bit.
We recap it really well, you know?
Tell you all the important parts.
Yeah, well, dude, everyone in the comments is like, I don't watch the show, but like, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
And we are just so happy to have you along for the ride. I'm Sage Ryan.
I'm Kendall Lynn.
And let's go ahead and get into the episode.
Cue it.
Okay, before we get into the new episode, it feels like a good idea to acknowledge some of the comments from the last episode, some of your guys' thoughts from episode 9.
Yeah.
We have, this is one of my favorite, Akotoroku saying, Sage's absolutely unhinged grin when Kendall said she'd never been in a fight.
Dude, you're like, I definitely
It was just, you know,
I
sometimes
would.
when you realize you're not relatable,
Yeah.
like in that moment you just discovered that you're strange and you're like, oh, we've all been in fights. Oh, okay. I also thoroughly enjoyed Soul Reaper Flores saying, I would definitely watch a reality TV show if you two were hosting it.
If you want two cool, hip, young, hot women who just want to host something.
Sage and Kendall for host. Just saying. That's it.
My favorite comment was from Joey,
Oh my God.
who he said, number 1, I'm so ticklish. Number 2, it was in front of my father, ...
Look, those are both things that we took into consideration.
Yeah,
Those are both things we know about.
we talked about it.
We talked about it. And it is
And
what it is,
we
pal.
still said what we said. We still
And
said what
we
said.
stand by that. It is always so funny to know that like people on this show are watching
Yeah,
the podcast.
it's the best.
We love it. We appreciate it so much.
I never want it to stop.
I know. And we're getting close to it. We just finished episode 10. There's only 2 more.
And we had a scare that this was the last episode.
We did. It looks on IMDb, I believe, like there are only 10 episodes this season. But we have absolute confirmation from 2 different cast members that there are 12 episodes. And obviously, we just finished 10 and that was not a finale.
And yeah.
but
And
we had a scare.
There's no way, spoiler, you can add 2 more men and have it be
No.
the finale as well. So
Exactly. So let's get started on
Yes.
the episode. We do have 2 more men joining us today, which we saw in the preview from last episode. So not too much of a spoiler, but that's not the first thing we get to. They oddly put that in like the middle of the episode.
they do.
Isn't that kind of weird?
I almost feel like they did that with like Shauna and Rebecca, I think.
It's the same thing I said when Shauna and Rebecca came in, where I was like, it feels kind of like unceremonious to like just drop them in, have them just wander into the house. They don't even like, you know, they do the thing where they like put a text out when they're gonna
like gather in the kitchen. You know?
They call everyone together. They don't do that when new people come to the house, which is so weird. They don't make a more of an event of it. And I know they're trying a thing where they're like, look, everybody, they just kind of like show up and surprise, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, gather everybody at least.
That's why I liked David and Connor's entrance. It was like
A
beach
moment.
day, and then became a moment of
A
them on the
moment.
jet skis, and
yes.
it was a
Falling
memorable
off
moment.
The jet skis.
But this one is just like, yeah, whatever. Just walk in.
Yeah.
We'll see where everyone is.
I guess. Yeah. Go find them.
Go find them. Majority of them were in the backyard, which was very helpful for, I guess, just production. So
Yeah.
while David was climbing a tree, but we'll get to that too.
So the first thing that we see, concerningly, is Chris and Barbie laid out in the grass. That is, just for context, Chris, Barbie, okay? Laid in the grass, talking about sex positions.
But all, while doing like a karate, martial arts, jujitsu
They were doing a little Brazilian, he was like showing her a Brazilian jiu-jitsu hold, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to say, but also, can I tell you something? As somebody who has taken a little bit of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it is the #1 martial art that a creepy dude wants to teach you. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not even
Is
kidding.
it because you get them in holds?
Yes, genuinely. There is like there is such a thing. It's like it's the same guy as the "Where's My Hug," which makes perfect sense. This is all
makes
Christopher.
so much sense.
But like guys were like, I can show you a couple Brazilian jiu-jitsu holds. I'm a purple belt.
Yeah. And of course, this hold was the one where he's on top of her.
Yeah.
So
Correct. And that's like always the thing. It's just it's such a thing and it's so funny and I am so curious for other like femme people listening or watching. Have you ever had a man ask if he can show you some Brazilian jiu-jitsu holds or offer to teach you Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Now, mind you, these people are not Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like teachers.
Yeah.
They're just like guys who have taken Brazilian jiu-jitsu classes.
Like they took like 3 classes.
Yeah.
They paid $60 each for each class.
Exactly.
And they're like, I know a thing or two about this. Let me show you.
Yeah. I'm not saying everybody who does Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a creep. I'm saying all creeps do Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's just a thing.
This is what I think. If you want to just somehow get a hold of a woman by doing something manipulative, at least do the "can I crack your back" technique, because at least she gets something out of it. She gets her back cracked.
But it is the same guy. Those are all the same guy.
Yeah, but at least you get your back cracked. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, we're really getting nothing out of this. But here's the worst part. The part that's like so fucking freaky about it.
Yeah.
Is that they're treating it like, yeah, you should know like self-defense.
Not what? Yeah, I don't know. I guess
From you. From you is what I need it for.
Barbie was having a good time. She was like, doing some dry humps as like a funny, goofy, silly.
Because he's like,
gal
I haven't
thing.
had you in this position
Yeah.
yet.
And then he teaches her how to chokehold him from being underneath. So I guess like she learned something.
Which is like a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu is doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like using people's weight to get it doesn't
Whatever.
matter.
It's
It literally doesn't matter.
It's all relative.
It's all fine. It's whatever.
It's nothing.
But we did open on them just discussing sex positions while in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu hold, which was a bold opening. And then we pick up on the fact that Lynette left, obviously. That was a huge thing. And we immediately see Anthony on like a PR campaign running around the house being like, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault.
A really weird, Lynette was not into it. Lynette was okay with it. She said she was okay with me talking to other women. I don't know why she left.
I don't know why she left. She said she was okay with it. She never said it bothered her. Cut to all the times she said it bothered her on camera. It's just so weird. Like maybe it's because he's like old that he doesn't understand the concept of like the video. Like you're on video, you're on television. You said it on TV.
We know people's confessionals. We know your confessionals, and we know exactly what happened because we're seeing it.
There's proof. We saw the conversation where you two talked about it, and she said it was making her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And though she had to do the like, I mean, yeah, I do understand, but like she definitely said it was making her uncomfortable, and it is wild for him to pretend like she didn't because he says it multiple times throughout this episode to different people.
Literally.
But in this one, very particularly, he is in the kitchen trying to say it in front of Rebecca because he doesn't want to seem like a bad guy in front of Rebecca. And he's like, I care about her very much. I think she's very lovely. I just, she said she knew I was seeing you and she said that she was okay with it. So I'm just so surprised that she left. I mean, I went to bed at midnight and Joey comes running in and I'm just like, okay, dude.
Okay, and
okay.
There was like another moment. It was Anthony talking to just Darren.
Yes.
And he's doing the exact same thing that he's doing around the house, being like, oh, she was okay with it. I'm attracted to Rachel. And then Darren's like, Rebecca. You mean Rebecca. You don't even know her name.
Bless the editors for putting that in. Absolute shouts to the editors. Shout out to Darren for calling him on it.
Yeah. Also,
for knowing her name.
Shout out to Darren for just saying it's okay for the women to date the men. The show is called M LF Manor. That's what they're here to do.
100%.
And this is the thing. We've said this multiple times. You can date other men on this show. If you're a man who looks committed to another woman, like you guys are literally kissing and cuddling and going on dates, going on the Realfie room.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I could date other women. You trust me, right?
Right.
That's like the show's, that makes you look icky.
There were ways to not be gross about it, and this wasn't it.
So
you didn't choose one of them. You chose a gross way to do it. So he's on this whole, I just can't believe he said Rachel. I cannot believe he looked at Darren and was like, like she knew I was into Rachel. and I was like, what? And you're like, oh my God, he said Rachel. I'm like,
Rachel.
No, what? No. Show me to me, Rachel.
Show it to me, Rachel. There was also a little confessional from Barbie saying that Rebecca started it. She did not. It was Anthony. Anthony started it.
Everybody, please. Everybody,
Rebecca's
please.
fine.
What is going on here?
Rebecca didn't start anything.
I'm so confused. It is like a fun house in here. Like logic is just not ours is not the same as theirs.
Yes.
And everybody is blaming Rebecca when Anthony's right there.
Yeah, and it definitely stems from like insecurity of is my man safe?
Sure.
I feel like Barbie and Chris at this time of the show, they're very coupled up. Like they're
100%.
boyfriend girlfriend.
But also, Rebecca has not pursued Chris and Chris has not pursued Rebecca.
Yes.
Because once again, I say she has not pursued anyone that did not show interest in her.
Correct.
Not once has she done anything to, like, go for a man. The men are coming to her.
Yes.
If she can steal your man, that's not your man.
Just think about that for a second.
That's not, like, on the women. That's not me being like, oh, you should understand. It's like, no, like, hold the men accountable for not being your man then. You know?
If your man is easily swayed by just another woman.
Yeah.
Just by a conversation. Yeah. I think you should just look elsewhere.
Like, Rebecca walked in and Anthony was immediately, like, cartoon, like, eyes popping out of his head, tongue unrolling onto the floor like a fucking Looney Tune.
Yeah. Shut up.
So, like...
Which is why I really like what Kelly Mack said. All the women were talking outside with Rebecca there. And Kelly Mack was like, you know, I don't like the way Anthony is kind of like manipulating the situation of saying it's not his fault.
Correct. It was such a, like, little kiki going on outside where Kelly is also, like, telling the story to everybody. All of the girls are, like, gathered around in a circle.
With Rebecca there.
Yeah. And Kelly is like, no, like, Anthony made her feel like he was committed to her. He fell out on that. Like, he had a responsibility. She is the only one making any sense in this scenario where she's like, yeah, like, simply don't. Simply leave her for the other men. Like, someone else can come in and you can just not.
I don't know. We were so close to having an actual girl moment amongst the women. It, like, just kept, like, teetering on, like... Oh, I don't know.
And everybody was agreeing with her, and and then I realized Rebecca's sitting there, and then they're like, yeah. And here's the thing. Kelly tries to give her this advice of, like, reputation management, essentially, of, like, you're making yourself look bad because it does look like you're going after these other people. If you see a man that is already involved with somebody else, don't pursue them. And she's like, look, I don't feel like I was pursuing a lot of people. I have kissed 2 people since I got here, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it was like 2 men. One of them, Connor, wasn't committed to anybody, which is why I think Disco Mommy Kelly's all over her. You know what I mean? Because Disco Mommy really wanted Connor, and she's just like a little butthurt that, like, Connor's not reciprocating the same amount of, like, want.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, it's not Rebecca's fault he doesn't want you.
If Rebecca didn't even come into the house, I still don't know if, like, he would have wanted Disco Mommy. I don't know.
Here's the thing. She has not been exhibiting particularly appealing traits on this here reality show.
And I would think because of that, Connor's no longer interested, right?
Yeah. I mean, clearly now. Yeah. Now, absolutely, he literally said, like, okay, I guess I made the right choice because she made an absolute embarrassment of herself by being a monster last episode. So I think there is no reality. I literally said when we were watching it, I'm like, if Rebecca spontaneously combust right now, Connor would not go back to Kelly.
You did say that.
Like, there's no way. It's dead there. There's no chance there. But, like, I think Kelly has embarrassed herself greatly here. Yeah. And I can't imagine people finding that attractive.
I don't know. Maybe, I think you're willing to put up with a lot when you're on a show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I guess this is why this is happening.
Christina talks about in that same, like, little circle around where she's like, you know, I have girls code and I'm loyal to these girls.
That's right.
I don't know if you know this, but girls code doesn't just apply to some girls.
We just, like, haven't seen it. And that's all we're waiting for.
We really haven't seen it.
Just to see it.
She learned the term girls girl.
Yes.
But did not learn the behavior girls girl. She has not unlocked the move yet.
No.
You know what I mean?
Just the words.
But it's like her literally, like, trashing Rebecca, saying it's because she has, like, girl code with these other girls. And I'm like, if it was girls code, you guys would be like, I don't know, jumping Anthony.
I think if it was girls code, if there was a girls girl moment, Jamie would still be here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, anyway, it was really fun to hear that in the same breath. She was like, and I'm seeing David and Sam. Like, while everyone's, like, on Rebecca for just seeing 2 men.
She literally says it. She's like, I am dating 2 men. I have been balancing both. And they talk about how, I think it was, who was it? Was it Darren who was like, oh, yeah, I think it was Darren who made the comparison that was like, well, Kelly has been seeing 2 people, and Christina has been seeing 2 people. Rebecca's seeing the same amount of people.
So what's wrong? What's wrong with it? Well, what was wrong with it is Anthony making like a point to look, and like seem committed to Lynette.
Yes.
When actually he wasn't.
Yes, 100%. But Rebecca is still, I mean, honestly, Rebecca's not doing much this episode. She's just there being like, I don't know, you guys.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. But even after this talk with all the women, it was, Rebecca's like, I'm still going to see them. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, okay.
Which we were like, oh, okay, a little toxic.
That's fine.
We also get Connor calling Kelly Hurricane Kelly.
Yeah,
He's like, you never know when Hurricane Kelly's going to come through. Oof. Not your man. Not your man, not your man, not your man.
We'll name the next storm that.
Right? We also have a separate little circle going on.
Yes.
The boys.
I don't know who is in it besides Chris.
I don't know either.
I like didn't clock who that other person was because
Yeah.
we were so appalled at Chris.
I was throwing up in my mouth, so I wasn't really able to like process a lot of what was happening in the scene.
My most ick. It's my pet peeve. It's further than that. It's like something I want to actually like punch someone in the face for.
Yes.
Is when men have to brag about sleeping with a woman in the most inhumane way. That's what it feels
literally.
like.
Literally. It also, you know what it screams to me?
Huh.
Bad in bed.
It does
It
scream.
screams bad in bed.
When men are like,
screams it.
the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Dude, I was pounding away. Oh, she has the best butt. Oh my God, she's the best. That makes me feel like you have no idea what you're doing in bed.
100%.
You know?
You would not be talking about it if you
Yeah.
did.
By the way, which is what Chris did. Chris said, after our date last night, me and Barbie went to the Realty room and she my brains out. I'm like, okay.
Was it she did or he?
Oh, maybe
said,
he.
I think he said I, which is so much like
Maybe.
grosser.
I don't remember, but
I don't
that is
remember.
gross.
Yeah.
That's
Both are
more
disgusting.
gross.
Yeah.
Both are disgusting to even talk about it in that way
Yeah.
on a show. Like,
Right?
if you're going to talk about it on a show, at least be like we went to the roofie room and we like went to the next level and it was
Anything.
like amazing.
Right.
But to be like, fucked her brains out. Like, ugh. Or even the opposite. I don't even
Right.
know.
Any of it. It's such a gross way to describe it. It was so dehumanizing. It was so like, it was just like a cartoonish depiction of the way that men talk about women. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Like Wolf of Wall Street, you know?
Yeah.
You don't think those are real people. It's
Right.
a movie. But that's
God,
how you want to talk
do
about
not
it in
think
real
he's
life.
a real person. And he's being gross. And then we like cut away from that pretty quickly. And I would have been curious to see actually how the other boys in the room were reacting to it.
Yeah.
Like I would have liked to see more of their reactions of like, are you all playing into this? Are you all cool with this?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
like,
I also want to see if they like high-fived him or not. You know what I
Right.
mean?
because here's the thing. Every woman knows a man who's a predator, and somehow every man doesn't. Isn't that so weird?
So
Somehow
weird.
no men know men that are predators. So I'm just saying, if your boy comes in the room the day after sleeping with someone for the first time, mind you, that they're trying to build a relationship with,
Yeah.
okay, and starts bragging about it by saying like, I fucked her brains out.
Yeah.
Say something.
I hope it's not the first time. I hope that wasn't the first
It-
time they actually were in the real room
I
together
think it
and this is the
was.
thing he said.
I think it was. It's giving the vibe that it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do think if it were to happen, the producers would have put it in the show already.
Right?
But
I don't know. It was really gross, and boys, call out your boys.
boys suck.
Boys just suck.
I have a good boy though. I have a good boy at home.
Aww.
It's the only boy I like right now.
Okay. I have next everybody just outside.
Yes. I did say Connor said it's a double standard. I don't remember what that's to.
That was it was Connor, I think, who was calling that like Kelly and Christina were both seeing two people. Maybe.
Oh, okay,
I think
then it was
that's what
Connor.
it was, and saying it was a double standard.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Good for Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far,
He's surprising me.
I actually really thought that I was gonna hate Connor.
Yeah.
And
He's
I'll admit I
surprising
don't
me.
hate him that much. I still hate David.
Although I am impressed by David's tree climbing
ability?
skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all outside.
Watching David climb a tree. Literally, this man is just randomly climbing a tree.
He's a little brown bear, just like he's doing the thing where, you know, it's like arms, then legs, arms, then legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, okay.
Honestly,
Climb that tree.
pretty impressive.
I know, right?
Not gonna lie, pretty impressive.
I can't do that. I don't think I can.
I definitely cannot.
I don't.
I can tell you with 100% certainty I cannot do
Yeah.
that.
I just like, I know I'm going to get cuts on my hands. I just don't want that.
I none of it.
Yeah.
Not one thing of it.
But then he hung onto a branch and I think
He was
started doing
like,
pull-ups.
on a branch. Very impressive, but also hilarious timing for two new men to roll into the mansion.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you're coming in, especially as like an older man, coming in and being like, let's see what the other DILFs have here. Is that man in a tree?
Good for him.
So we have the entrance of Rob and Fletcher. This is another uncle-nephew duo.
Yes.
So let's give you a profile on these two new men that have entered the house, this uncle and nephew duo. We have Uncle Rob, who is 59 years old. Uncle Rob is a previous bodybuilder. We don't know a lot about his actual current like career or if that's what he does. I don't
Maybe he
that's
currently
career.
body builds.
I don't know if that's a career at 59. Like
maybe if you're retired, it's like a fun hobby.
Yeah, I would think it's more of a hobby, but genuinely I don't know enough about bodybuilding to know if you can like make a living off of it really.
I don't know either.
I actually have no idea. He has been divorced since 2018 after being married for 20 years. He describes himself as an empty nester, which you pointed out, like, they literally all thought they were going on a show about empty nesters, supposedly. So
that was on the top of his mind already.
Yeah.
You know?
And he did specify that he likes dating younger women because they keep up their physique.
I don't know if that has to do with him being a bodybuilder and just being around fitness or just like people not wanting people who are not fit as in not thin.
I think it makes you an old creep. I think you're a 59-year-old man who has been burnt up by the sun in your many years that thinks that you should be with a younger woman because you find them hotter.
Just the first thing I notice is like, we need to introduce sunscreen to people.
We have to the younger generation, but unfortunately not in time for Rob.
But there's like, have you seen the thing going around where people are like not believing in sunscreen anymore? No. They're literally saying, who says the sun causes skin cancer? That is a lie.
Science.
Sunscreen is causing the cancer. You're putting chemicals on your body. God would never allow the sun to give people cancer. Have you not been seeing that? No. People are refusing to put on sunscreen because they think the chemicals in it is the thing causing cancer and not you going in the sun with baby oil.
You're telling me your God draws the line at the sun cancer, but not the other ones? Lungs? Fuck them.
Yeah. That's what's going around on right now. I don't think that's like hitting them, our contestants, our cast members.
Yeah. No, that was just a generational thing. Somebody who's 59 years old, it makes perfect sense.
That they don't use
they were baby
100%.
oil in and holding reflectors. And he is a tan man.
Yes.
Then we have Fletcher. Fletcher is 30 years old. He was a Marine previously and then started his own small business doing seamless gutters.
I had to look it up. I had to look up what seamless gutters are. Because my mind immediately went to like the rain gutters on the ground in the asphalt.
I was picturing house gutters.
They are house gutters. He does house gutters, which would make sense because in one of his promo shots, he was on a ladder. So I found out, and this is another thing.
Got a fun fact?
Because I'm building a house. In the state of California or the city of Los Angeles, I don't know which one it is, you need to have your rain gutters go into planters. It's like a thing that needs to happen.
To like recycle water because we live in
a drought.
Yeah, a like forever drought.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Fletcher also specifies that dating has been a little bit hard for him because when he started his small business, he was broke and busy.
Yes.
Which he was like, nobody wants somebody who doesn't have any money or any time. And like, yeah.
Smart. Very true.
Yeah, true and fair. When they rolled up, we were like, oh, Fletcher isn't a youngin'.
No. There's no way this man is like close to the age of our sons.
And he's only 30, which is so right now when we look at the original of the Sons, I don't remember Connor's age, but I have Joey, Sam, Jacob, Miles, and Christopher. They were all 21 to 27, with Christopher being the oldest at 27 previously for the boys.
Yeah.
And so 30 is a little bit older, but Fletcher's going gray already, which happens a lot, like especially for like men younger.
Yeah.
But Fletcher looks older.
He looks old. I think he's spending time around his like uncle who doesn't wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, sunscreen saves your skin and makes you look young, guys.
Yeah, and it's not even just his skin. Like he just has an older look to him.
Yes.
I would have guessed that he was older for sure. We were guessing like, oh, he looks like he's probably like 40.
I think he's like 40. No, he's 30.
Interesting. Very interesting. And then
I guess you can't help genetics.
Yeah, truly. And also, so this is two kind of older people. Again, Fletcher's not, he's only 30, but he's a little older than the other men.
Yeah.
But Rob is now the oldest man in the house, coming in at 59. He is the same age as Kelly Mack, who was previously the oldest in the house. The second oldest is Darren. Darren's 57.
I feel like they're ways away of looking 2 years apart.
Yeah, right? Darren does look really young in comparison.
But I think that does have to do with the amount of time that I think Rob, I forgot his name for a second, that Rob had to tan up for bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah.
Because I do know enough that they have to be tan for those competitions.
100%. That is definitely a requirement of it from what I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he has the bodybuilder effect of not being a big guy naturally.
Yes.
Where his head looks very small because his body is very large and built out. He is in incredible shape.
Yes.
Like ridiculous shape. He's a 59-year-old man with like abs. Absolutely ridiculous.
Like more so than Ashley.
Any
If
of
you guys
them.
remember Ashley.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
This man's Rob's a bodybuilder.
100%. And as soon as they come in, we see everybody coming out to greet them. We obviously see the boys all like, oh, God, and more men. Oh, no. We see literally Crystal and Kelly. Crystal goes, Kelly, which one? Like calling dibs in the weirdest way.
I did like Kelly's response being like, whichever.
Yeah.
Basically
And she
saying
means
whichever.
that. She really meant that. She goes in for a handshake. She shakes the hand of Fletcher, and then Rob is like, no, like
We don't
we don't do handshakes, and hugs her. It's okay to do handshakes. You can do handshakes. That's fine. If somebody goes for a handshake, you can give them a handshake. That's fine. But my favorite thing is that for some reason when they arrive, and I don't understand the context of what was happening outside, most of the boys are just in their underwear. They are straight up in their panties out in the lawn. And Joey walks over like Donald Duck in it, in a t-shirt and panties, and like shakes the guy's hand.
Is it hot there all of a sudden? Because last time I remember, they're all wearing jackets.
Right. But also, like, do you own shorts?
Yeah, they could
He's just
wear
fully
shorts.
pantsless. Him and Christopher are definitely pantsless, and I believe Sam.
I think Sam's also
I think the
in
three
his
of them
underwear.
are wearing no pants, just straight up underwear.
Mhm.
Some of them shirtless and underwear, some of them with a shirt and underwear, like Joey's wearing a shirt and his underwear.
And then like David and Connor are like shirtless, but they have like tight, like I guess joggings on.
Yeah.
So
They got like sweatpants.
yeah.
So I have no idea why these boys are running around in their underwear.
I think
but
it's
like
funny.
people arrive at the house and you have to go and like introduce yourself in your underwear.
You're like, they don't even like, I guess there's no shame in being in your underwear as men or something. I don't know. Because it's not like they're
there's-
trying to hide the fact that they're like in underwear shaking these guys'
No.
hands. They
Joey
just,
feels
like,
very comfortable
yeah.
walking up and shaking hands. I feel like I would be like, hey, I would love to meet you, but let me go put some pants on first.
Yeah,
I'll be
for
right
sure.
back. I would personally go get some pants
No.
for the introduction.
There's no time for this. They
Then
have to shake
maybe-
hands.
Then maybe, you can have your next interaction pantsless. But I
Yeah.
feel like the first one could have had some pants.
There's no time.
Um,
Crystal makes it a point to say she's interested in Rob. But just like, ooh, I kind of like Rob. I would talk to Rob.
yeah.
Good for Crystal.
Very interesting. She immediately does seem to be attracted to Rob. Kelly also is in some way pursuing Rob, kind of. But
Yeah.
the mechanic is when new people get to the house, they get to choose two people to go on a date with. So Fletcher chooses Christina,
Mm-hmm.
and Rob chooses Kelly, Disco Mommy.
Which I feel like tends to be almost like the pattern. Is that like
Yeah.
Christina and Kelly end up on the dates?
It's true.
Yeah, I guess they have
They're
like
very forward.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they have like the air of like I'm willing to talk to you and go on a date, which they
Yeah.
are. So it
They
already
put themselves
like
out there.
yeah, there's like less pressure to pick them.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's more pressure to pick them because they're out there.
I think that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I think it's like, okay, well, this person is. I think it is easy to pick them and not worry about rejection or them not liking them because they are
so forward.
about it
Yes.
and they immediately go for it.
Maybe I would do that too.
Yeah.
Because if like they're willing to talk to you, then you have like the chance of actually getting to know someone instead
Yeah.
of forcing someone to talk to you.
Right. There's so many things back and forth going on here. As these dates start, we also see Joey and Shauna having their own little discussion.
Oh, yeah.
It's
and
happening at the same time.
it like starts with Joey saying he doesn't do high school relationships.
He
And
said he
then-
didn't have any relationships in high school and that he's never been in a serious relationship.
Yeah. And then he also says, I don't do bullshit relationships. And Sage and I at the same time said, you don't do any relationships. Like,
You've never been in a relationship.
If you say you don't do high school relationships, you're 21 and you've never done a serious relationship. And then you're like, I don't do bullshit relationships. You just haven't done a single one.
You just
So,
haven't
like,
done relationships. I feel like you can start scrutinizing once you've tried one.
Yeah.
You gotta try one first. I don't know. I don't feel like you can really speak to that yet.
I guess he's tried one and they've all been BS to him. You know what I mean?
I guess,
But,
but
like-
if he's not. Here's the thing: you don't say I've never been in a serious relationship if you've been in any kind of relationship.
Yeah.
I think he's been on dates,
Yes.
but I don't think he's ever been in anything he would like consider a relationship by what he's describing. So
Yes.
it's like you gotta figure out what a relationship even is. He talked about how he was impacted by his parents' divorce and how that made him like not want to mess around with not finding the right person and all of these things. But I'm also like, you are 21 years old
Yeah.
and
You have so much time.
it's not how it works. It's just not how it works in reality. I'm just so confused by Shauna. Shauna's incredibly quiet in general on this show. She's not really engaging with anybody. We haven't seen her talking to anybody but Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting on the couch and like Joey's kind of laying down and she is like,
Oh, they're as far apart as
Over
we
here.
are now.
she is so far from him. But in her confessional, she's like, I really like Joey, like all of these things. She's like, yeah, he's really been the highlight of my experience
He's like
here.
the best part of this. I'm like, what?
And she's like, yeah, I could really like, see something there. Everybody keeps calling him mature.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they still think Joey's like 25 or something. So I like, not that it makes a difference, but I do think 21 to 25 makes a big difference.
A huge difference.
You know what I mean?
If I was dating somebody I thought was 25 and I found out they were 21,
21, it's over.
I would send myself to prison.
It's over.
It's immediately over. Are you joking? Oh my God.
It would have felt more genuine if they were like cuddling or at least like holding
No,
hands.
they're nowhere near each other.
There was nothing there. They weren't. I don't know.
They were as far apart as they could have been from each other.
Yeah, they're literally on different ends of like the couch.
And she's only talking about it really in her confessional about really liking him. And I'm just so confused by it. I don't get it. I don't see any, like, not an ounce of chemistry there.
Yeah.
And we don't ever see him talking about really liking her in confessionals either.
No.
They have more of like they have a more friendly vibe. It seems more like they're friends, which is cool. And it seems more like, I don't know, like, when you're like 18 years old and you're working a retail job and you make like one like way older friend that you would never be friends with in the real world, that like circumstantial friend of like, yeah, this is Tammy.
yeah.
She's 50. She has 3 kids. And I am not a fan of her ex-husband. Like,
Yeah.
and you're 18 years old,
Mhm.
but it's
And
just because you have the same lunch break.
Tammy has like worked there for like 20 years and
Yes.
this is like your first job.
Exactly. That is the vibe I get between them.
I think if there were to be an air quote elimination,
Mhm.
I think they would be safe because they would choose each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe they're like keeping each other around just in case.
Maybe.
Or I don't know, maybe Shauna actually is interested in Joey.
What I will say is she isn't saying anything necessarily romantic about him. She is saying that she really likes him and that he has been the highlight of the experience. But I wonder, like, if she would say, like, yes, it was platonic.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe she has been saying that and they just cut it out.
Maybe.
You never know.
Because I'm getting friendship vibes between these two.
I know. I want to know what Joey thinks of her. Besides, like, she's mature, she's hot, she's like,
Yeah, all of those things.
like everything he didn't say in their like body paint one-on-one date. I want to hear more.
right. Very interesting.
Will we get it? I don't know.
So, oh my God, there's so much going on at the same
Yeah.
time. These dates are very interesting. We have Christina and Fletcher sitting out on like the little dock.
Like a doc, and she's asking if he's ever been married, and he said no.
Mhm. And she seems surprised because she also thinks he's older.
Yeah,
She's like, no, never.
yeah,
I'm
because like
"He's only
after
30."
that, she was like, "How old are you?"
She fully thought he was older.
Yeah,
She fully did.
he's 30 and's never been married, which is like I think pretty normal, but
Yeah.
maybe in like middle America it's not normal.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of people who like get married really young and then
Yeah.
end up divorcing too.
In Los Angeles, somebody under 30 getting married is a child bride. That's just the truth of it.
I feel like
Getting married before 30, having children, teen pregnancy.
I was close, I feel like. I was really close to getting married.
Oh, I thought you were saying to teen
No.
pregnancy.
No. I was close to getting married.
You were close to getting married at what age?
Before 30. Probably like 29, 28.
Wow.
Yeah. Or I probably would have gotten engaged at 28.
Yeah.
And then gotten married at 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't talk about my relationships on the internet. But
This is fine for me. It's like little bits and pieces of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everyone's going to be like, oh, what? Wait, how old is Kendall again?
Right.
29. What do you mean? Kendall's not 22?
I'll tell you things after the pod.
I will say this episode sparked so many stories of me and Sage that sometimes we didn't realize. We were watching and didn't realize what was happening because we were so engrossed in our own personal lives.
100%. Honestly, I do feel like we had to go back and look at a couple of things because we were just like swapping stories of being like, I actually did this incredibly messy thing once.
One time,
but that is not a story for the podcast.
It's fine.
This is happening on the podcast. Let's talk about this date. Why is Christina drinking straight from the bottle?
Oh yeah, she has like a full champagne bottle.
She's going straight from the bottle, not acknowledging it.
No. You think it would be like, you think they took the bottle to share it amongst like two glasses?
She's going straight in. First date.
Yeah, I would think
First conversation.
He had like an empty glass and has just been waiting for her to pour it. That would have been so funny.
Dying. There isn't a ton here. Honestly, they just kind of do a very surface level talk and get to know each other.
Yeah. And it seems like less romantic and less interested in each other than other first dates we've seen.
I agree. Honestly, it's just kind of a like, what do you do? And then he's like, yeah, I started my own business, all this stuff. And then she's kind of like, oh yeah, like I did too. And he doesn't really ask about it.
And then who's next? Rob and Kelly?
Rob and Kelly, yeah. There is a simultaneous thing happening here, actually. There's so many simultaneous things, which is Stacy and Crystal talking.
Yeah,
we're bouncing around a little bit. Stacy and Crystal are having a conversation. We get a confessional from Stacy that absolutely baffles me. He's like, oh, well, now that I've seen her taking an interest in Rob coming in, like, I feel like I need to talk to her. Now, listen, did I ask Shauna on a date in front of her? Yes. But I need to talk to her and show her that I'm still interested. Like, I'm clearly trying to build a relationship with her. Clearly? Since when?
Clearly.
Oh my God, it reminds me of something that Anthony said in the beginning that we didn't talk about when Anthony was on his PR tour.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I wasn't ready to commit to Lynette, but I wasn't ready to let her go either.
You never want that. If a man says that to you, run.
Run.
That's like the worst thing to hear. That's basically someone who's trying to keep what they think they deserve without putting any effort into it.
Disgusting. Hated it.
You don't want that.
Hated it.
Okay? Just, you deserve better men.
Gross. Which is what made me think of it, because Stacey's kind of playing a very similar game.
Yes.
And he doesn't like seeing Rob take an interest in Crystal, or mostly Crystal take an interest in Rob, honestly, at this point here. And they have like a little conversation, and it seems like they're having a nice conversation. Stacey's getting so jealous, but what I get the vibe of here is he shot his shot with Shauna, and Crystal was his backup.
Yes.
Shauna turned him down, and now he's going to lose his backup.
Yeah. As he should.
Yeah.
As he should.
Obviously. But like, it doesn't feel like, oh, he's realized he wanted Crystal. It feels like, oh, well, I risked it. I took a roll of the dice and it didn't work out for me, and now I got to make sure that I still have something.
Yeah.
And I hate that. So him and Crystal sit down on a blanket to have a discussion about kind of where they were going. And he's like, yeah, well, I see you over here like talking to Rob, and like, you know, I just wanted us to like communicate about that. And she's like, I have been giving you hints. I've been telling you I like you. I have been getting she's like basically saying that like she's been getting only friend vibes from him. Yes. Like that.
Which is true.
We've absolutely seen it. We've been calling it out for episodes of him like treating her like a bud. And she's like, I don't want that. I want a romantic relationship with you.
Yeah.
And
he like word vomits after this. He's like, well, it took me like three years to get engaged to my ex, and yeah, I said I wanted to go slow, but like not that slow, but slow. And if I wanted to move in that direction, it wouldn't be as slow and like I don't
Kinda
what are you
nonsense.
saying?
First of all, 3 years is actually not a very long time to get engaged from.
It's no, that seems normal to me. 3 years?
Yeah, that's normal to fast, in my opinion.
Yes.
But she's not asking you to marry her,
No,
dude. She's saying, hey,
Hold my hand.
right, I don't want to be your bud.
Hold my freaking hand.
Literally, like, anything. Which is super weird. And he's like, look, this is like clear communication. And she's like, yeah, this is good, whatever. And she's like, look, realistically, like, I do still want you. I am still interested. So it seems like now they're kind of like committing to trying,
Yes.
essentially. And they were happy to be communicating. But I am kind of like, he got off too easy.
I think so too. I think she's being nice.
I think so too.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that when you get rejected from a guy and he suddenly starts showing interest, it's a red flag, but also it does make you feel a little good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is sad that it's like what it's come to for Crystal.
For a lot of the women in these house, like they are
Yeah.
acting out of character, I bet, for themselves
sad.
out of this like thing that this
The
show's
show.
putting them through.
Especially now that you know you can leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly and Rob's date.
Oh my God, dude. I don't even know what to think of it.
Okay. you kept saying the two of them do go together.
No, they kind of match in appearance, and I don't want to be mean about it, but it just looks like two people who have never touched sunscreen.
I don't want to be mean about it. It says something so brutal.
No, I don't. No, I just mean like that generation has they don't use sunscreen, and sometimes you can really tell in fair people's skin.
Yeah.
Fair people who try to tan up.
Yeah.
Who don't tan up in the right way.
Yeah. You see?
I tried my best.
Listen. Hey. White people.
Yeah, how sage say
It's
this.
it's not good for like it's not good out there. Nothing good lies ahead for us. In the aging department. We got to do all we can. Because it does not come naturally in a positive way. I got a TikTok the other day that was like, hey, you know how you can always tell that like white people aren't where they belong? Sunburns.
Yeah.
We come from a cloudy climate, folks. We were not built for this. We were not supposed to be here.
Dude, I even remember in like the first few episodes, I think it was Kelly Mack that was like, make sure you put on sunscreen, and all the guys' chests were just red.
Absolutely burnt to a crisp. Anyways, I believe that Kelly, as this show has gone on, every time that she says something mean, her entire like appearance becomes just a little more bird-like.
Oh, yeah. No, because she like squishes up her face right in all towards the middle.
She does.
You know, it's
She
like,
has this like mean little look that she does all
Yeah.
the time, and it's such a choice. It's such a choice.
and it's, yeah.
Kelly could be a beautiful woman,
Yeah.
but she's a jerk, so she isn't.
You know, when you're a jerk, when you're ugly in the inside, you're totally ugly on the outside.
And it's not just like oh no, now I don't find you attractive anymore. It's like, no, like you look different.
Yeah,
Like people look different.
100%.
She has like the lines of scowling for 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like she does.
Which
She
is-
wears her attitude on her face.
Yeah, and you should
And
just
her
be careful
outfits.
because it comes out. Okay, it manifests on your skin. I'm just
It does.
putting that out there.
But it's so funny to see Kelly sitting next to somebody who looks like her, right?
Yeah.
They look to be around the same age. They look, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
And she's not into it.
she's so not into it, and she's so upset that she has to be. Like, she knows that she needs to link up with somebody on the show, especially because
Just to
she needs to
stay.
get back at somebody. She's like mad at Connor. She needs to stay. Like, she needs a connection in the house, and you can tell that she is like, all right, well, I got to take what I
She's
can
like,
get right now.
Damn, is
and
it this
she
guy?
thinks she deserves so much like younger and hotter.
Yeah, she thinks she deserves like Connor.
But she's sitting next to this guy. And like we've seen Kelly be feral for any man in this house.
Literally.
She's been absolutely jumping the bones of any dude that would like make eye contact with her since she got into this house. And she is sitting there like,
she's curled up on like an L couch, right? And like she's like under the blanket, her arms are in, and
she's
her
looking at
shoulders
him,
are
like-
up. And she's not even fully facing him. She's like almost like side eyeing, you know? And like he's trying to get to know her. And like, you know, they talk about all the things where he was like divorced in 2018, married for 20, and he starts scooting in closer.
And you watch her face as he goes in for the kiss, just be like,
She doesn't lean. She
No,
she
she
kind
just
of
kinda,
leans
like-
because you lean for a kiss, but like she she didn't want it.
it's so brutal. It's so uncomfortable to watch.
Especially for like disco mommy Kelly.
It's so weird because she's wanted to make out with everybody.
Yes.
And he goes in for a makeout.
yeah.
He does go in for it.
And like they stop making out. They're still really close and she's just smiling but not leaning in. He's like, I guess we'll get back to this later or something like that. He said
She pulls
something.
away of
Yeah.
like the kiss initially, of like they make out for a second, and she doesn't fully pull away. She just kind of like turns back.
I was like, she's not interested in this man. But maybe that'll change. I don't know. But maybe she doesn't need to worry about Rob because Crystal's also interested in Rob for some reason, some weird reason. I don't even
These
remember their
women are out of their league
conversation.
entirely. I think Disco Mommy is going to have a really hard time because this is a man her age, and she is attracted to her son.
That's true. It's
So,
true.
It's going to be hard for her to reconcile with.
Yeah.
But it is challenge time. Dates are
Yay.
over. We get a text message that has a kind of strange challenge on it. It is testing the like sexual knowledge of
Yeah.
young guys versus older guys.
Yeah.
So they put them on teams. The sons are all together. The fathers and uncles are all together. And they have to answer questions, and the women vote on which answer they like better about sex. I have all the questions written down here.
Nice.
The first one was, what is the best sex position?
I didn't realize this was like Dilfs versus Sons. I thought like each person would have their own answer.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was like Family Feud style.
It was Family Feud style. They all had to like
Huddle. They're like, what is the best position? Oh my God, is it 69? Is it doggy? Is it missionary? What is it?
Which is a very awkward huddle.
It's at least it wasn't like sons with their dads. Because
Yeah.
I'm tired of them. I'm tired
Same.
of relatives, family talking
Yeah.
about
sex with
sex.
each other. Yeah. We do get a little bit of that in the confessionals, but the boys come back with missionary. And the men, I am saying the boys and the men. I
Yeah, I
understand.
think yeah, that's fine.
The dads come back with what I think is such a cop-out answer.
It is a cop out.
It's whatever position makes you 3 times. Not going to say it for sake of podcast.
Yeah. I
Cop-out.
I
All
think
you're telling me is you don't know.
that's it does feel like they're like whatever you like and whatever's like good to put on this board, you know. I feel like because of that generation of women, they do like that answer.
They did like that answer.
Which
They
is
voted
crazy.
for that answer. I would not have voted for that answer. I would be like, no, you tell me.
Yeah.
Don't make me tell you.
What do you think's best?
Right.
This is a Family Feud show.
Uh-huh.
You know, we're trying to see who's closest to the right
Let's
answer.
get some answers on the board,
Yeah.
boys.
So
I think the boys were honest in their answer, and I don't think they're wrong for it.
and I don't even think missionary is a bad.
No,
Like,
strong answer.
Yeah, I think it's a strong answer.
Strong answer. There's a lot of arguments for like eye contact, all of those
I was
things.
about to say eye contact.
Right?
If you like the person, you want to look at them.
I think that's perfectly reasonable, but the women, Christina is like, what? That is so vanilla. She will take
So
every
funny.
chance, every fucking opportunity she ever can to let people know she
She's
is not
into-
vanilla.
She's into BDSM.
She needs you to know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she has like some wild position in her mind that like I've never even heard of.
She's like the upside down fledging
Yeah.
monkey sprawl.
Yeah.
On a tube.
Right, exactly.
It's like, huh?
She's like, missionary, I'm trying to get clown card. And you're like, what? What is that? What is it? What is that? What is that?
know.
She definitely has like a bunch of things that maybe aren't even real that she
Got
like
it.
read about on a forum.
Yeah,
Probably.
The velvet cyclone.
Yeah, she's trying to get Velvet Cyclone over here. She's like, missionary, could you be any more vanilla?
Crazy.
Which is very intense, and it's just one of those things where it's like she's like, did I mention that I'm into BDSM?
But if you want it on a show,
Uh-huh.
you definitely have to say it multiple times because you don't know what they're gonna use in the edit. So that's
Why do
her.
you want it on the show so bad?
She definitely.
Why do you want that so badly? Why is that?
Because the real dating starts after the show airs.
Oh my God, you're so right.
That's,
Oh my God, you're
that's
so
when
right.
you actually find your person.
People hitting you up who saw you on the show.
Mm-hmm. And she wants to know, hey, if you're vanilla, I ain't getting newbies. You have to know what you're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a prerequisite.
Wow.
Maybe she's right. Maybe
she's onto something there. I don't know. I guess.
God, good for her.
All right. Second question was, how many times a week would you want to have sex?
The dads say 21 times.
Three
times
days a day.
3 days. 3 times a day, which you and I said. It was you, I think you said. They're not having sex
They
3
are
times
not.
a day.
They are not. Come on.
Yeah.
First of all, half those men don't have the stamina.
No.
I simply don't. I don't believe it.
Do you have time?
Yeah, right.
Do you have time?
Do any of you have jobs?
Are they all, maybe it's like 5-minute sessions. You know, no one's even finishing.
I still think it's not happening 5 times, or not happening 3 times a day, 7 days a week.
That's too much. 21 times is a lot.
There's no way.
I mean, good for you.
but they're not.
But I don't
Good.
think.
Like, hey, big if true.
Big if true.
Big if true.
That's what this should be called. Big
Right?
if true.
But it's not.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it. It's not true. There's no way. But
Yeah.
I think they were just like, oh yeah, the women are gonna love this. They know that this is the horniest group of people.
Yeah.
That they were gonna love it.
The Sun said something. I forgot who it was, but someone said, like, I know what you're going to need 3 times a day. Viagra. I was like, probably.
After they lost the first one, I think it was, and then it was Sam who was like, yeah, okay, well, we're at a disadvantage because we weren't there when sex was invented.
Hey, wait, I think Sam did say the Viagra thing from.
Sam's
just so funny right
throwing
now
out
to me.
bangers out there. The answer from the boys was as much as she needs.
That's, I think,
Cop out.
it's still a cop-out, but a better cop-out than the first question.
I do agree, because being like, I only want to have sex as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Yes.
That feels
valid,
better.
As opposed to, I actually don't know a position that will pleasure you.
Literally, yeah.
I actually like when they're like, oh yeah, like what do you think pleases a woman? It's like, you tell me.
What do you think?
You tell me.
Come on.
I don't know.
What is it?
Right. But I agree that it's a better one, but because it's following the last one, it's clear that they were like, oh, that worked for them.
Yeah.
Let's just do that next time.
Mhm.
And they did. And they're not wrong. It does win.
Yes.
The women vote for the as much as she needs.
Whatever.
Pop out answers.
The next question is, which part of a woman should you lick to turn her on?
This went exactly where you would imagine it went.
I
The boys
think-
go first.
Yeah, I think it's funny because sometimes we would see them huddle and sometimes we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But this edit made it seem like Joey just took it on his own to
Yeah,
be
he's
like,
like,
I
I
know
got this."
exactly what it is.
Now I want to be clear. The prompt was to turn her on. This is about initiating. This is about getting things started. And he went, and we'll have to bleep this because they did too. They had to blur the board and everything. He just went straight pussy.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's crazy.
That seems like
I get what your mind is
like
is
obvious
at.
answer.
Yeah. Like I get what your mind is at, but I also think it is an answer of a 21-year-old.
And like not incorrect in that like we don't want a DJ Khaled.
Yes. We don't want to DJ Khaled.
Nobody wants a DJ Khaled, but like
But are you starting down there to turn her on?
You can't.
You're not gonna start at like I said, oh, like a neck.
Neck was a great answer.
Yeah.
The older men replied to this one saying every inch of her, which was a great answer.
I think that's a great answer.
That was
and
a great answer.
To me, it wasn't a cop-out.
I agree. That one
You
really
know?
wasn't.
Because I think if they said, wherever she wants me to, then that's
Then
a
it would be that
cop-out.
exactly.
But like every inch of her is like, ooh,
Yeah.
oh my God. Even
Yeah.
like more so than like a nip or like a neck. I'm like,
Yes.
ooh,
It was
oh my gosh.
classier, but it also had the same like a little more intense implications like the
Yes.
other one. You know what I mean? More than just a neck. A
Yes.
little more than just a neck. Solid answer. The obviously that answer takes it. Everybody kind of like ooh when the boys revealed theirs, they were all kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, settle down.
And they're like yelling at each other. They're
Yeah.
like, you know nothing.
Right? Yeah, the old guys are like, yeah, we know what women want. What can we say?
It's like, okay.
Yeah, all right. And then the last question is, what is the best way to turn a woman on? I also feel like these were kind of redundant in questions because it was like, what part would you like to turn a woman on? What is the best way to turn a woman on? I feel like it could have gotten a little more creative with the questions.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if there were like multiple questions and just they edited
cut
in the
some.
best ones.
I think you're right.
But they had to keep this one in because of what happens after.
That's very true. So
We get like a confession from Chris, and he's like, I've been spending a lot of time with Barbie, and I know what Barbie needs is reassurance.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something that women need.
he
And
specifically says like older chicks need reassurance that they're still like good for their partner,
Mhm.
which I'm just kind of like, you should not be with a woman older than you. That's such a like, everybody wants reassurance.
yes.
So like reassurance is a solid answer, but it also feels like it has like a women be crazy kind of energy to it. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, women, and they need all this reassurance. And it's like,
Mhm.
what they're saying is they want you to tell them you find them attractive.
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if that's like, ooh, what really turns me on. It's like, no, that's the base level. That's the bare minimum is what you're saying. That's not the best way to turn a woman on is reassurance.
Mhm.
It's not even like compliments. Like, you
No.
could have said compliments, but you said reassurance. Which is like,
That's a red flag,
yeah.
you know?
Like reassurance is like, no, you still got it.
yeah. That's crazy.
It
And
is.
like he's so confident that he writes reassurance down on the board. And he turns it over and the women are like, "Oh, yeah.
okay.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
nobody dislikes it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like it's a good answer, but I don't know if it's like the answer everyone's looking for."
But the dads come back with the answer everyone is looking for, this especially at this kind of gathering here, which is do all the chores and send her on a shopping spree.
But like my favorite part about it was that it felt like that one YouTube video that's like, bada bing, boop, bow. And they're like, oh!
Yeah.
Because they're like, send her on a shopping spree. Oh!
Right? Because as soon as they turn over the board that says reassurance, David goes, yeah, when you're broke.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But like that.
And honestly, sick burn, dude. Genuinely got him.
It got
Genuinely
them.
got
It
him.
actually hurt them.
Genuinely got him. So it got us thinking, which of these boys, the youngins, have their own money?
Yeah.
And this isn't even about how much money. It's like are genuinely independent.
Yeah.
Right?
They made it a point to say the new guy, Fletcher,
Uh-huh.
has money or like it's his own business. So he's kind of like,
Yeah, that he was previously, that like he did his time, he was
Exactly.
struggling, and
he
you know,
found
on
something
the other
that makes
side of
it work for himself.
Right.
I think Connor does just because when you're an influencer, like things come.
Yeah, I think that especially because he's not even here with his parents. I'm like, he's probably not living off of his
Yeah.
parents, but I don't know. I don't know what his relationship with it is. I'm gonna say I think Sam still lives at home.
For me, it's really about age.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I think the younger you are, the less money you're gonna have.
Absolutely,
You
and
know
that
what
is
I
the
mean?
fact. But it is
But for some
Also-
reason,
look, at the end of the day, there's this we'll get back to this, but it's the hypothetical of a gold digger that like young broke men are always so afraid of for some
Mhm.
reason, and they're always like, I don't want a woman who only wants me for my money. And it's like, what money?
what money?
You don't have any money.
Yeah, and then
You
they're
don't
like,
have any. Hey, worry about it when you get money. When you get your bag that you're
Mhm.
so confident you're going to have, then you can be concerned if people only want you for your money. But right now, you're good. It's okay. I promise that they do not want your pizza boy salary.
yeah.
You know, and there is nothing wrong with being a pizza boy.
Mm-hmm.
But I also promise that it's not. That you don't have to worry about gold diggers. Like, that is not.
It's
That is
not.
not
don't
your
worry.
problem. That is not your concern at this moment.
Yeah.
So, you know, all 20-something-year-old men are just temporarily embarrassed millionaires.
Yeah. They always follow up with like, I want someone who's gonna take care, clean my house, and cook for me. It's like, what house?
What house?
What house?
I mean, what?
Cook
Oh.
what food in what fridge?
Right. Oh, you want her cooking while you're at work? So she doesn't have to go to work?
She doesn't have to go
So
to
then
work,
you're-
and you're gonna.
So you're paying for everything because
Yeah.
if
She's-
she's home,
You want her to
cooking you
stay at home
dinner,
wife, right?
then
You can send her on a shopping
stay at home.
spree.
What home?
What? Oh,
Stay at.
I don't know.
That's not a stay at apartment wife.
Yeah.
That's not a stay at dad's housewife.
It seemed like the issue that we were having with Chris. Chris was super, like, he felt like he was gutted about money.
Immediately we get to his confessional being like, what? I want a woman who wants me for me, as opposed to what?
As opposed to what? He's like, I'm not the type of man that's gonna give you $5,000 to send you on a shopping
And he's
spree.
like, I'd love to be that someday, but I'm not that right now. My career has ups and downs, and like money kind of is like
comes and goes.
Yeah. And what he's saying is he's not currently financially stable, but instead of reflecting on like, oh, I might not be able to provide the kind of life that she wants right now, and like he's like, it's messed up that she wants it.
Yeah, he's
as opposed
pouting.
To like, oh, you know, like that. I might not be able to do that right now. He refuses to take any kind of like personal thing. It is okay for her to want that, and it is okay for you to not want to provide it. Both things are okay. Somebody can not want to be a provider, and somebody can want a provider. And neither person is in the wrong as long as everybody consents to the situation they're getting into.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, he's acting like she is some villain for saying that
she liked the answer of do the chores and going on a shopping spree.
And all of them voted for it. All of them voted for it because it was the better answer. And he's like, I just didn't think she was like that. I'm like
what? This is a game show. It's a Family Feud style game show on a show called M LF Manor. What do you want?
You cannot. Everybody voted for it, but for some reason, it just really clearly activated an insecurity of his if he feels insecure of not having his own money. Okay, wait, going down the line though.
Oh, yes.
We know Joey works for his dad. We know that they have a family business.
Yes.
I'm going to bet 21, he lives at home.
Yeah, or he's like probably, I don't even know. Is
Maybe
he still in college? He might be in the dorms right now.
Could be.
You know?
But if he's working for his dad, they talked a lot about like their family business.
Yes,
So I'm guessing he's at home.
Yeah.
I do think Chris lives on his own.
Yeah. I think Chris is in a career though where you do have to like get in the industry to start making money. You know, you don't just start making money right away. And like, I think you have to win.
Yes.
To make more money, I think.
It does seem like it would be
right?
Like I think it would be one of those where it's like it's not a reliable income until you are at the top.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
He probably doesn't because it comes and goes because it's based on how many matches he does and how many of the ones he wins.
Yeah. So like it's fine. Nobody is like Barbie isn't being like, Chris, I can't believe you don't make more money. What do you mean you don't have money? Anyways, we'll come back around to that. But finishing this challenge out, the fathers win.
Yes. By, it's like 1-3. There are only 4 questions and they won like 3 of the answers.
Yeah.
One of them being a cop-out.
Truly.
And the boys only win being a cop-out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the boys are really upset about this. And Chris seems like he's kind of trying to like get them all activated, trying to be like, these women only want money. What, they want shopping sprees?
Crazy.
That's ridiculous.
I can't give you $5,000.
And he's like, and I will be able to someday. And it's like, okay, well then why? Here's the thing.
Like, don't worry about it right now.
If you are currently 27 years old or so, and you know that in your future, that is something you want to be able to provide, right? So let's say maybe you want it, maybe you picture yourself being able to be that when you're 40.
Yes.
And Barbie is over 40.
Yes.
Why is it bad for her to want it when you also want it for your future? She's just already there. And instead of acknowledging like, ooh, I might not be ready for this, instead of acknowledging like, ooh, she wants a grown man and I'm not there yet, it's her fault. Oh, how interesting.
Crazy.
Oh, how interesting. We do see her kind of like following up with him.
Yeah, this is like, they're done with the game. They're all going back inside.
And it's clear that he's upset.
And it feels like we like missed a couple of conversations.
They're walking in and he's like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not cleaning up after these boys anymore. Like, blah, 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 blah,
I'm tired of, I'm not going to clean up after grown men, you know?
Valid, but I think what she's pointing out is that, like, yeah, that's valid, but you're clearly upset about something else.
Yes.
This is a bigger reaction.
Yes.
Right? And they go into her room where she's like cleaning up and stuff, and they're talking about it a little bit. And he's just like, well, I was just really like, what did he say? He was like, I feel like it was really disrespectful what you said out there. I was really surprised to see you side with them about like the shopping spree. Like that you just want someone that'll send you shopping.
And Barbie just like laughs because she's like, oh, we were playing a game. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
you know?
She's like taking it exactly as like
as
it should
we are.
be.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, and she was like, also, it was the chores.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, having
it's
somebody
mostly chores.
take care of things. Like, yeah. And she brings up such a valid point, which she's like, I have been a single mother. I have been taking care of everybody for years. She's like, I can pay my bills. I can take care of things. I'm there buying the back to school clothes and clothing my children and taking care of people. Yes, it would be nice at some point to have someone who can take some of the financial load off of me because I've carried it for so long.
I feel like that's a little more valid. I feel like you just have to remember what her situation is. You know what I mean? Which is a literal single mother.
Yes.
So
reasonable. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I can't do that right now. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
She's like, nothing. She's not like, what? You can't, but. And she's like, yeah, that's what I'd like someday. She's like, that's how my dating life, like, that's where I am at in my dating life.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're going to have to talk about this later because I didn't really get to say what I need to, but, like, you've got things to do.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, okay. And then she, like, walks out of the room smiling, but goes back to her room and then just starts bawling her eyes out.
I thought the bawling came after the second time they talked.
Was it? No, I think it was now.
I think it was after the second time when she went and talked to him and he's in the bed. She's not crying
you're
yet.
right, you're right.
Because they pick it up
That's
later.
A spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler,
that's gonna happen.
She cries later.
But he is already being super weird about it.
Yeah.
And then we just get kind of a montage of, like, the boys having to clean. For some reason, it's Sam who's, like, down scrubbing the floors. You were even like, did he lose a bet or something?
It made me feel like there was, like, some weird bet of, like, whoever loses has to clean the house because only the boys are cleaning and all the dads are like, yeah, I can smell that bleach. Good job, Sam.
What I think is happening is we saw in the first, like, I want to say the first or second episode, how disgusting the boys' room was, like old food piling up and stuff like that.
Gross.
I think maybe the entire house was like, you guys need to clean.
Yeah, I feel like they
Like,
realized,
we're not touching it. You have to do it. We've been taking care of you.
like, a producer's not going to clean it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're
And
not a hotel.
I think that the fathers and the women have probably been taking care of all of the cleaning, and maybe, I guess, Christopher's been helping because he's complaining about it.
Yeah.
And I think that these boys have not been cleaning, and I think they're like, yeah, no, we're all going to sit back and you're going to clean. It's your turn. Like, you have to do it. So Sam is, like, scrubbing the floors and really, getting in there and cleaning up. And Callie goes, you're lucky you didn't have to pick up dirty tampons.
Wait, that made us stop to talk about tampons. We're like, who's taking out a tampon and just throwing it on the ground? Like, what? Like, I know you're
What
not
do you mean?
you're not supposed to flush tampons.
Yeah,
And put them in the
but you
trash,
don't-
but, like, who's putting them on the you're like lassoing
You don't pile them up in the corner.
I understand if they, like, fall out of the trash can or something, but you'd think you'd have the decency to, like, wrap it up.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
And I don't want there to be a misconception about this because that is not normal. And
Yeah.
I feel like Kelly is, like, acting like she uses a litter box. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, like,
She just, like, kicks a little dirt over it in the corner and moves on.
do you flush tampons?
No, you can't.
do.
You do?
But okay, listen, hear me out.
All
Hear
of
me
a
out.
sudden-
You can't.
You. They always say you
Wait,
can't. I've
hear
never
me out.
tried.
Hear me out. I flush them in places I don't like. Like, I would never do it in my own home. And I would never do it in, like, a small business, local business. But, like, at a Target, oh boy, it's going right into your toilet. At an AMC,
This
oh
is
boy,
anarchy.
it's going right into your toilet.
An act of anarchy.
Yeah.
God, that's so funny. No, I feel like it's like the thing where it's like, don't pull the mattress tag off. I'm like,
Oh,
I never
yeah.
questioned it. I just simply won't do it.
You just don't.
I just don't question it. I just
Every
don't
time
do
you
it.
make your bed, you just feel it every once in a while. and
Yeah,
you're
you're
like,
like,
damn.
that's weird and annoying. I wish I could take that off, but I can't. Oh well. Anyways, that's disgusting. It's really weird of Kelly to say.
Yeah.
Kelly just says the weirdest
I think
things.
she was trying to do, like, the shock factor of Sam, and it worked on him because I don't think he's ever had to deal with, like, a bloody tampon.
I mean, he didn't. He still didn't.
Yeah.
He still didn't have to.
That's true.
Because why would he?
Because why would there
'Cause
be
why would
one
that
on the
come up?
ground?
I just feel like Kelly is just like, I don't know. There's this like weird thing of like, think about woman. Think about me. I'm woman. Woman with parts.
I'm a woman with parts,
And I really want you to know it.
I'm still fertile. Maybe, I can see that actually being, like, a thing. Like, that was, like, a thought process, maybe. Oh, no. I don't know. Maybe that's such a reach of mine.
But she does just say weird. She's just weird.
For sure.
So she just says weird stuff. So then we kind of like nothing really happens in between, and the fight kind of picks back up.
Well, I have a Sam won't let David get Christina. We finally get like a confession from Sam being like, I'm not really doing my part with Christina. Like we had a few dates.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I think maybe in the next few episodes we see Sam like kind of like, revving it up again and like stepping up to talk to Christina.
Here's what I really like though, is he's not like Sam is being so untoxic about this, which is shocking for this house because he's not like, she's off with these other dudes and like they're taking my woman or whatever. He's like, I really haven't been doing enough.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start. Good for you.
He's like,
Sam.
you know what? If I do want, like, it does seem like someone else is kind of taking the lead and taking her attention. I'm probably going to have to step it up.
And it's probably smart to think, especially on a show where you can get eliminated and there's new men. And usually when there's new men, people leave.
So true.
So I'm sure Sam's feeling that.
Yeah. And he sees her on the date with the new man, you know? So honestly, this episode, loving Sam.
Yeah.
Loving Sam this episode.
He was so witty today.
He's just been making little goofs. He's been staying out of the problems for the most part. He's just kind of been vibing.
Oh, and there was a moment where Sam and Darren were talking about different sex positions, and Sam was just trying to name some.
It seemed like Darren was like quizzing him. Like, how many do you actually know?
He's like, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl,
missionary,
doggy,
style,
69. And I think a lot of people would just stop there, to be quite honest.
I think he did as well.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know. I guess it's almost too much to talk with your dad. Yeah. And I would stop at, like, the most used positions with my parents.
Personally, stop at 0.
Oh.
I would stop at the concept of talking about sex positions with my parents.
I would never want to.
But
holy crap.
That's just me.
Maybe if I was with my parent, I would try to make up the most ridiculous positions like we were doing with like, the clown card and the velvet cyclone.
Yeah.
Because then it's just funny.
Right.
It's not real.
Yeah.
You
Have you ever done the hyaluronic wind turbine?
Whoa, tell me about it.
Yeah, that's about it. The fight then continues.
Yes.
We were watching because like this fight was all in the preview. You heard us talk about it last week. And we were like, okay, is this it? Did the last one? And we're like, okay, not really. This is it. She walks in, he's pouting under a blanket, and she's like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm just tired. And she's like, you're upset. And he's like, I'm not.
I'm not mad.
You are mad. Like, it's clear that you're mad. And he's like, I'm not. But it's just that I just feel really disrespected by what you said out there, and I didn't think you were like that, and whatever. And he just kind of says a lot of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was a smaller thing than I expected based on what we saw in the preview.
I thought she legitimately said something that would disrespect him.
Yeah.
But it was just a board she put up that said, I like the DILF's answers.
And I did think that, like, there was going to be more conversation between them after, too, that, like, led to it being this big of a fight. Like, here's what I will say. Personally, in that situation, if I was Barbie, I would be like, oh, this is a huge red flag. Like, this isn't a big fight, but it is a big deal in that, like, he is showing something that would be a massive red flag of, like, me just holding up a sign has you pouting in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would probably be out at that point. Like, in a new relationship, I do think that could end the relationship for me.
Yeah.
Of just being like, ooh, I have identified something that I think probably means a lot.
Yeah.
Probably means a lot of other things that's more than this.
Then you think you would, like, have an actual conversation about it.
Yeah.
Instead, they just part ways because no one, he's not talking. He wants to stay under his
He won't look at her.
Yeah.
Like, he's pouting.
Yeah. He wants to just stay under the blanket and be a pouty little boy.
Yeah. So she goes walking back and she like smiles, whatever. She's like, okay, fine. If you want to throw away everything that we have, because he's like, I don't like that. So I just remove myself from that situation then.
Yeah.
Like I that's not the kind of relationship I want. So she's like, okay. She walks out of the room. She gets back to her bedroom and starts sobbing.
She is bawling her eyes out. She's trying to speak to, I think, us while she's packing her stuff.
She's like, I just can't believe he would act like this. Like, this is such a big difference. I don't deserve to be treated like this. And she's like heaving, like so hard crying as she starts. She's like, I don't even want to be here. And she starts like packing her things.
And like, she's saying that while she's crying.
Yeah.
That he barely spoke at her.
Wouldn't look at her.
Yeah, like Which I think is devastating for if they did have sex for the first time last night.
Such a good point.
Devastating. You know what I mean? To like have a great date, have sex with someone, and the very next day they just won't look at you
Over like the
smallest thing. It's like he was looking for a cop out. He's looking for a way out.
Exactly.
You
and
know?
I feel like, especially after he was bragging about having sex with her, disgusting. I feel like maybe this is something too that is like activating a past trauma for her.
Absolutely.
Of like somebody sleeping with her and then revealing who they really are.
Yes.
Like that's that switch, which like I feel like everybody who dates men has experienced.
Yes.
Like somebody who like after you slept with them, they are a totally different person and they like reveal who they are. And you're like,
you're after
no.
this?
Oh no. And I feel like that's kind of what he did is
Mm-hmm.
he did like reveal a different part of himself that is like so immature and so pouty and so rude and just like he's disrespectful and calling her disrespectful and all these things of like being a pouty little baby boy. And but her reaction is very big. It makes me wonder if there's just stuff we didn't see.
That's what I'm thinking. It seemed so dramatic that I feel like maybe the editing did a disservice to her.
Yeah.
Because like to us, it was 0 to 100.
She is like inconsolable. Like it is such a big heaving cry and it's like in between things and she's talking and she's alone in the room packing her things and talking about it.
And like how she deserves better and she doesn't deserve this and
that's all correct.
he's immature.
And it's true.
And that's the end.
But it is a big reaction.
It's a huge
It's
reaction.
like a huge reaction. It's very interesting. Unexpected.
I hope there's just like more we didn't see.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like why would it be that big of a reaction? I feel like it does have to do with like a trauma and like the having sex for the first time
I
and
feel like it
feeling
does too.
thrown out, thrown away by someone who like got what they wanted and deuced out,
Yeah, 100%. And I think that it's like, to me, the worst thing than like leaving or like ghosting someone after you slept with them is like pulling the mask off and being like, gotcha. I pretended to be nice. Ooh, and I'm a jerk. Because it's not even like, he's not like, oh, I'm leaving. Like, even if he's not leaving you, it's like, now you're stuck with me.
Yeah.
That's worse.
Ugh. The worst.
I don't know, but that's just,
Yeah.
So
it's exciting to see if they get back together, like make up.
Yeah.
Or this is just where everything starts and the downfall of Barbie and Chris happen.
We have been keeping an eye on a lot of the social media stuff, and we're considering after the end of the season doing like a social media roundup of like where they are now, what happened now, what everybody's been posting. Let us know if that's something that you would like to see. If you want to see all of the like post-show drama, because there is so much.
There is a lot.
Every day there's something new. And I feel like after the show, with their permission, we can talk about some of the things that have been messaged to us directly.
Yeah.
We're not going to say anything that people did not give us permission to share. We respect people's privacy. But there is some stuff that people have been sharing because it seems like they want out there. So something we could do if you're into that sort of thing. Let us know.
Yeah.
Then we had the preview for next episode.
Oh my gosh! Okay, this is what I've been waiting for ever since the first season. They bring in their families to meet everybody.
I don't know if it seemed like they're bringing maybe one family member for each person in. And I was so afraid when I saw that. I was like, no, it's another MILF Manor trick. Like, it's going to be, like, you see, like, the first thing they say is, like, to Kelly Mack. They're like, it's your daughter. I think it's to Kelly Mack.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no.
Because
Don't
do this to us.
That, like, first shot is just, like, women from, like, the knees down, like, heels, hot dresses, and you're like, more people?
And it seems like maybe they're bringing their daughters in for competition. They're not. It seems like now they are bringing in a family member for each of them to, like, meet the person they're dating.
Yes, talk about their experience. Your family member to, like, get a read on the person you're dating.
I'm so into this.
Yeah.
I love that so much more. I also know that, like, again, you've had all of these people, like, cooped up in this insanity that, like, to have somebody from the outside come in and, like, ground you a little bit.
It would be
return
so
you
nice.
to reality a little bit. Probably has to be so good, has to feel so good. I hope that it is a nice episode. But I also know, like, if I'm the family member coming in, I'm here being like, what are you doing?
What's happening here?
No, none of them.
For me,
none of them.
I would be like, hey, is there a challenge? Are we part of a challenge? I would love to do a challenge.
Yeah,
like,
fair. Yeah, fair. Would
Yeah,
love to
like,
do a challenge.
if only they did, like, Family Feud with the family members, I think that would have been great.
Yeah, but then your kids are there for the what's the best sex positions.
Oh, I would love that too. I would love that. It's MILF Manor.
It is the spirit of the show, I suppose. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah, but it seems exciting. And we have like a mixture of people, like from like siblings to maybe even parents to children. So
Kelly Disco Mommy's son Joey is here, and he's standing next to this season's Joey. Now, mind you, this Joey was on season 1.
mm-hmm.
He's standing next. They're wearing the same outfit.
Dude,
They have the same hair and the same haircut. They're like the same height.
yeah,
They are same boy, different font.
yeah. It's just like one's a tiny bit shorter, one's a tiny bit thinner, but they're like the same.
He's just other Joey, but
Yeah.
Italian.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
That's
He's-
it.
He's Joey but Italian. Literally, it's just so funny to me that the whole season we're talking about like how our season,
Mhm.
this season's
Yeah.
Joey is so similar to Joey's season
And
1.
she pointed
and
it out before she made out with him.
She pointed out herself. And for them to show up in the same color shirt, if I was this season's Joey, I would immediately change.
Running
I
to
would-
change.
Can you imagine looking the same, wearing the same thing, and going, I made out with your mom in the hot tub?
It's like in a TV show when they do like your twin but evil. So they have like a mustache.
Oh my god, yeah, that's exactly what
This
it
is your son's evil twin.
Yeah. One's Mario and one's Luigi.
Exactly.
That's exactly what this is.
100%. It's so weird how
Yeah.
much they look alike. It's so freaky. Because when she said that, I was like, yeah, I mean, they're definitely the same type.
Yes.
But then you see them next to each other and you're like,
damn,
oh, they do kind of look alike.
they do.
Like, for season 1, Joey is just like lankier.
Yeah.
You know, he has
Yeah.
like a.
He's like a little like more V, more long.
yeah.
And then, oh my god, it literally is Mario and Luigi. I just
literally Mario.
that's
and Luigi. It is literally
that's what it
Mario
is.
and Luigi.
And like even the producers knew exactly what was up too because they got them in a confessional together.
Exactly. It's so weird, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you all next week.
Oh my god, and we're so close. To
We're
the
so
end.
close to the end. We've made it all the way through the season.
Insane.
Honestly, very proud of us. Our first
I
season.
know, right?
Oh my God. It's not done yet, though. There are 2 more episodes, at least, of this show.
Mhm.
But this podcast does not end when MILF Manor does. This is not a MILF Manor specific recap podcast. This is for reality dating shows. So, as always, if there are things that you do want to see us cover, please let us know if there are shows that you're really into right now. I just had a friend tell me they were watching Love Island and it's on like 5 or 6 nights a week.
Yeah, so how Love Island works is in the
can't.
very beginning, like maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks, maybe
Yeah.
even month, they put out an episode almost every day because it's basically live.
Right.
Like it's like they edit it within like the first few days. They do it in real
How
life,
do
which
you
is
keep
insane.
up?
And then once it starts going, that's when they'll do it like
you watching
twice
it?
a week. Not this season's. I like can't. I don't like doing the 5, 6 episodes a week. I like waiting
Mhm.
until they start doing it like once or twice a week.
Okay, then do they
And
like
then I'll
edit
just
those
binge it.
episodes down to it, or do you have to
So-
watch all of them?
No. Okay. So like each season's like 40 episodes. You know what I'm saying? So I just like binging them up until I can do it like week by week.
I have only seen episodes here and there of Love Island. I have never watched all the way through a
Yeah.
season, so I had no idea there was that much
Yeah.
of it.
Some people think it's not boring or a little slow, but like oh, I don't need to see them talking at at the
Right.
bar.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
a Big
love it.
Brothery,
It's
you
a
know?
little Big Brothery, and I feel like you do get a little bit more details about people
Yeah.
than like you would say on MILF Manor because a lot of
Sure.
things are edited out. So.
Yeah, for sure. Very interesting. So we probably won't be covering, something that's 6
Yeah,
nights a week.
That's a lot.
But if there are things that you're watching that you want to see us cover, let us know.
Mhm.
New things, old things, things that are coming up in the future, especially
Yes.
next seasons of things.
Oh my god, I can't wait for Love is Blind.
So excited. We're gonna have such a good time
Oh my
covering Love
God.
is Blind.
Love is Blind is gonna be so good.
We were this show was made to be covering Love is Blind.
Yes,
Truly.
absolutely.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Too Hot for Love. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to the new channel. What is the date today? This is going up on the new channel.
Yes.
This is actually the first one going up on the
so
new channel.
you have to subscribe to the new channel.
You have to. Welcome to Pixel Pop. We're very glad that you're here. There's going to be so much fun stuff for you to enjoy here, and it's going to be a little more tailored to the kind of things that you like if you like this podcast.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
subscribe to Pixel Pop. You're already here. If you're listening on a podcast platform, do the things that give it a positive rating. We appreciate it so much. It really helps us out. we just decided to do this, and we appreciate all of you so much for like receiving it and enjoying it. And it was very much a thing where we're like, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if it
try
happens.
see
Yeah,
what
why not?
happens. And we've been so incredibly like thrilled with the response to it.
I've been like blessed with support,
Yeah,
even from the cast. Insane.
Yeah, it's been.
I
very
keep calling
lovely.
them contenders by like accident.
The contenders.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's a little like ruthless. I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. And in addition to subscribing to the channel here, go and follow Kendall.
You can find me at Kendallin on a bunch of socials. I changed my bio officially to a silly person just doing silly content because I don't know what I'm doing there.
I love that.
Yeah, where can they find you, Sage?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage, and you can find all of the Pixel Circus channels.
Yes.
Where I am always for things. That's it.
So follow us,
Yeah,
And-
do it.
message us, and invite us to your wedding.
If anyone from MILF Manor does get married, you have to invite
You
us.
have to invite us.
Legally, you have to invite us.
And like, you don't. It can be on the invitations, like you're invited, but please don't actually come. That's
Yeah,
fine.
honestly,
just we want an invitation.
give us one of those honorary invites like you send to like brands to
Yeah.
get them to send you things.
Yeah, we will send you something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Let us know. But you have to actually be getting married.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
the thing. All right. That is it, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
And we'll see you next week.
Daddy's out!